this December. In a time when ugly sweaters and bad gift ideas prevail, there is hope. Make this December a Christmas they'll never forget with a gift from the Sur Shop in the Statesboro Mall. It's not clothing for men, it's clothing for gentlemen. Women's apparel too.
And welcome to the Georgia Southern Postgame Wrap-Up Show. I'm your host, Josh Aubrey, coming to you from Ladd-Peebles Stadium in Mobile, Alabama, the site for the annual GoDaddy Bowl, putting the Georgia Southern Eagles up against the Bowling Green Falcons. Among the subplots in this game, the #1 rushing offense in the country against the #1 passing offense, but more importantly than that, the Eagles in their first ever bowl game. They were dealt the news this past week that head coach Willie Fritz had left Georgia Southern for Tulane. They named Dell McGee as the interim head coach, and then this past weekend it was announced that Tyson Summers, who was the defensive coordinator at Colorado State, would be taking over the helm as the Georgia Southern head coach. Plenty of reasons for the players and possibly even the assistant coaches to be distracted. Instead, they come out of this game, first half seeing back and forth throughout. The Bowling Green Falcons come back right before the half to take the lead, but then in the second half, Fabian Upshaw inserted in at quarterback. He goes wild, rushes for well over 100 yards and a few touchdowns. The defense creates some turnovers, and Georgia Southern rolls away with this one. A big victory in their first ever bowl game, winning the GoDaddy Bowl, running away. Let's send you right out for some of the highlights. The first ever bowl game for the Georgia Southern Eagles, and a great group of Eagle fans on hand in Mobile, Alabama, despite some rain, for the GoDaddy Bowl between Georgia Southern and Bowling Green at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. And interim head coach Dell McGee getting the team ready for action. And the offense early on moving down the field on their opening possession. Kevin Ellison behind center breaks free for an Eagle first down. Later, same drive, Ellison throws it out to Wesley Fields, who'd have a big game. He breaks a few tackles, gets into Bowling Green territory. And this drive will be capped off by the pitch to L.A. Ramsby for the touchdown, and the Eagles with a 7-0 lead. But Bowling Green, a high-powered offense, and on fourth down, they'd go for it. Quarterback Matt Johnson scrambles and finds Roger Lewis for the 45-yard score. On the extra point, a rarity here as the point after was blocked, and Matt Dobson off to the races for Georgia Southern. And despite giving up a touchdown, the Eagles would take the lead here by a score of 9-6. Still in the first, and Bowling Green back at it again. Ronnie Moore going 15 yards for the touchdown to make it 13-9. We move to the second quarter, and more from the Falcons. Johnson up top to Garrick Dieter for 51-yard score, and it's 20-9, but the Eagles don't give up. The pitch on the outside to a banged-up Matt Breida, who turns the corner and gets to midfield. That drive culminates in Wesley Fields bouncing outside and going 26 yards for the score as Georgia Southern cuts the lead to 4 at 20-16. A little bit later, the defense getting in on the act. Nardo Govan with the big stop. And then the offense back in action. Kevin Ellison looking and finding B.J. Johnson. Looks like that one should have been called targeting, helmet-to-helmet hit, but no call. The Eagles keep moving downfield. Kevin Ellison scrambling, keeping the play alive, and he'll find Monte Crockett wide open for the 31-yard touchdown. Looks like the Eagles about to go to the halftime with some momentum and the lead, but instead Bowling Green on a 3rd and 3 gets a big run up the middle. Keep this drive alive. And then just before the half, with 36 seconds left, Travis Green in for the score, and it's 27-23, Bowling Green on top at the half. We move ahead to the second half, though, and this would be all Eagles. In at quarterback, Fabian Upshaw, and he comes up with the pass for a first down, and then it's Upshaw giving it inside, and bouncing outside is Wesley Fields, just shy of the goal line. Offensively, the Eagles rushing for 452 yards, and Upshaw cleans it up with the touchdown from 3 yards out. Later, Bowling Green going for it on fourth down, and they're denied. The Eagles take over on the first play from scrimmage. It's Fabian Upshaw showing off his speed. He splits a couple of defenders right here, and he is gone. Upshaw, 80 yards. Upshaw would rush for 199 yards in the ball game. The Eagle fans on their feet. More from the defense. Loose ball picked up by Nardo Govan, and he'd recover 2 fumbles, be named the defensive MVP, and from there, check out the nice block by James Dean, and in goes Matt Breida for the touchdown. At this point, it's 44-27, Georgia Southern on top. We go to the fourth, more of the same. Upshaw turns the corner for the score. This one, all Georgia Southern. They go on for the win, 58-27.
It's been a great year for all of us. Got a couple things ideas. Get out of my office.
Yes. Get into TC Outdoors and get out. Hunting season's here and TC Outdoors has everything you need. TC Outdoors, Northside Drive East in Statesboro, or tc-outdoors.com. Your hunting and fishing headquarters.
And after the game, we had a chance to catch up with Dell McGee and some of the players about the huge victory for Georgia Southern.
I think our coaches did a great job. We knew it was going to rain, so that was part of the deal. And we actually talked about possible lightning delay. So we had kind of preached to them that it could possibly be some delays and definitely adversity for us playing. Bowling Green was a great opponent, and you've seen the problems they possess to our defense, and thought our defense did a great job second half. Those 2 turnovers were huge. Offensively, I thought we shot ourselves in the foot in the first half a couple of times, and definitely didn't play as clean as we wanted to in the first half with too many penalties. He had the hot hand. He was reading his own option really well, and we just thought that we should go with him, and Kevin backed it up 100%. That's the thing when you got 2 good quarterbacks that are very unselfish football players and put the team first. And defensively, Coach Curtis and defense did a great job of challenging those receivers. Second half, they didn't really run the ball well, and that's what we want to do, is make them one-dimensional. When GoDaddy is a great organization, they did a great job this entire week. Mobile was a great city. I think this is one of the best bowls you can go to, and I think it says a lot. It exposes our band, our cheerleaders, our football program, so it helps in all areas of recruiting in all sports. And you know, that's what bowl games are for. It's a great reward for our student athletes.
How much would you love to continue on this staff at Georgia Southern?
I mean, I would love to. Sit down with my wife and family and, you know, kind of just go from there and talk to them and just see what's out there. And
pretty nice resume, 1-0.
Excellent resume.
Came in there, you know, thinking I was going to get my regular, you know, every three sets, and a little shakeup happened with Kev, so I just stepped in and tried to do my part, and didn't have to do anything spectacular, just, you know, read my keys and just run the offense pretty much. Coach McGee, he made sure we got all distractions out the way, and we focused on what we had to do this week. He kept preaching that we need to focus with the task at hand, and when we came down here to Mobile, we made sure that we got the job done.
Prepare like we always do, and the motto for this week and this bowl game was just to make everything happen. Through everything that was going on, we just make it happen and just forget about everything else and just do what we do, play Georgia Southern football. I mean, I just kind of think they just took us for granted, you know. Everybody just think we don't belong, but we showed them tonight that we do belong in Division I football, so we made a statement.
Did you guys talk about that, about the fact that they were saying, you know, we didn't want to play Georgia Southern, we want to play a big-time school?
I mean, they know now, you feel me?
Honestly, just made us laugh. I mean, we already knew it was going to be the underdogs coming in here because everybody was looking at us and saying that, you know, Georgia Southern, we made a bowl game, ha ha, y'all happy, y'all just first things, y'all just come in and lay it down. But our thing is Georgia Southern, we don't lay it down. We fight to the very end. So basically, we just came out and execute our plays, execute our calls, and we gave it everything we got.
Was there a lot of talking?
Just talking the whole game. It's talking from the start to the very end. But, when we started showing them that we was here to play and we started executing and, doing what we was doing, they started shutting up.
I went through a lot of adversity the last couple of weeks with Coach Fritz leaving, but the coaching staff did a tremendous job getting us ready to play. And as a defense, we've heard all week about how explosive their offense was, top passing team in the country. That's all we've heard all week, and we wanted to show tonight that we belong, and we got a pretty good defense as well.
Matt, pretty emotional moment to be out there on the field with the fans, seniors. You guys have been through multiple coaches and everything. Tell us your emotions when you're out there on the field at the end of the game.
It was a little overwhelming. So happy for Coach McGee and the rest of the staff. They didn't have to stay here and do what they did, and every single coach stayed. When Coach Fritz took the Tulane job, every one of them stayed, and that's not common in other places. A lot of guys leave and go to their other jobs and get started, and our whole staff stayed, and they did an outstanding job. And being with the fans out there and all my teammates, the seniors, we've been through a lot, and it was overwhelming, humbling, and a blessing.
Join me now, the Georgia Southern beat writer and sports editor for the Statesboro Herald, Mike Anthony. And Mike, the game's still going on, but there's no doubt about this one. Georgia Southern turns it on in the second half to pull off the big victory. Your thoughts on the game here this evening?
Just an incredible performance by Georgia Southern. A lot of adversity leading up to this. Not only just the new experience of going to a bowl game. None of the players have been through this before. On top of that, you've got a coaching change, a lot of speculation on who's coming in, who's going, who's staying to coach the bowl game. And then on top of that, a very good Bowling Green team, some bad weather conditions, an early deficit, 20-9. A lot of people might have thought that this Georgia Southern team might pack it in, but that's not what Georgia Southern does. They get back into it by halftime, a couple of big plays in the third quarter, and then the downpour was the Eagle offense, not just the rain. Yeah,
Fabian Upshaw inserted at quarterback, and he really let loose, rushing for a career high, a few touchdowns. You get a few turnovers as well. It's nice when everybody's pitching in.
Absolutely everything hitting there. Wesley Fields, the true freshman, he has a good day. Matt Breida, early on when the offense wasn't quite hitting, he breaks off a 30-something yarder, gets the Eagles going, gets them to their second touchdown of the game. Even a couple of passing plays, a big third down conversion, a big touchdown right before the half from Kevin Ellison.
That's right. Well, Georgia Southern with the victory here this evening. Nice way to start off their first ever bowl with a victory, and a great crowd on hand for this game as well. Pretty impressive considering that it's 2 days before Christmas and it's a good 8 hours from Statesboro for a lot of these fans to make the trip.
Very impressive just walking around town the last couple of days. The restaurants are full, the hotel's full, chants everywhere, going back and forth with Bowling Green fans. You could tell that Eagle Nation was really excited to be here. They definitely showed up, and it looks like the Eagles are sending them home with an early Christmas present.
That's right, an early Christmas present for Georgia Southern, a huge victory here in their first ever bowl game, a victory over Bowling Green, who were the MAC champs. We can't forget about that here in the GoDaddy Bowl. Well, for Mike Anthony, I'm Josh Aubrey. We thank you for joining us throughout the year. Don't forget to tune in throughout 2016 for the Eagles Nest as well.